Woof, motherfuckers, how you doing today? It is the lovely Sass of Sass and Science. So today, again, I am playing both parts of Sass and Science. And today we are discussing kink. Bitch, listen, I don't care who is out there. Y'all know y'all some kinky, freaky people, okay? I had this custom made for me for 2019 Bare Bust. And I will tell you right now, it is extremely warm under here. So, like, people that walk around in full leather all day, every day, full rubber all day, every day. Speaking of rubber, we have Mr. Rubber. I can't remember what year, but James O-Town Kinkster up in the house that's going to be giving some education to all of you. But how you guys do this on the regular? No, because listen, I am burning up. Like, I have my personal little fan here, and I'm like, oh, God. Oh, but it vibrates. Oh, honey, oh, she's cute. She vibrates. My man gave this to me. He was like, baby, you want this? I used to, like, use it on the subway up in New York. So, you want it? It's like a little personal air conditioner. I'm like, snatch mine. Bye. You offered, it's mine. So you can see I'm just sitting here in front of all of my little toys. You know, we have some things hanging. Over here, we have my sling. But, you know, I'm just moving and there's things moving around me. Just ignore that. This really is my oh, wait. If I touch the screen. Oh. I was going to say this is really my room, but I thought it fled around. So let's say hello to a couple people. Hello, Les Levi. Hello, Don Brown. Hello, John Porco. How are you guys doing today? On this lovely 22nd of June, Monday at 7:03 p.m. Everything is lovely, gorgeous. It's hot as hell here in Florida. It really and truly is. If I could ask you guys a huge favor, at the bottom of your screen, if you could hit the share button and share it to your page, because today is actually, bitch, that was just lightning. Oh, honey. Listen, if the power goes down, at least I've got a little bit of backup juice on my computer, but there was lightning out there. But anyways, if you guys can hit the share button and share it to your page, today is actually the first day that we are streaming only from the Sass and Science page on Facebook and YouTube. So today is our first time that we are streaming only from the Sass and Science Facebook page and YouTube. And if you're having a question about where these locations are, you can see right here. So this is going to be our Facebook page. So you're just going to search Sass and Science, and you're going to click over here. You're going to come down, and you're going to do like and following. Apparently, I'm liking it, but that's because it's my page, and I'm following it. But I want you to do the exact same thing. So again, Sass and Science, SASS, the asterisk, it's called an Empress symbol or something. I know I'm an Empress, but okay, I'll give it to grammar. It's called the Empress or some shit like that. Symbol and Science. So that's the one page. And then the other page that I would love for you guys to go do is to pop over to our YouTube page. Our YouTube page has every single video that is uploaded through here. If you can see, this one right here is my favorite right now. This one, look at Eric's face. That is just amazing. That grin. Girl, when he came online and he saw this face that I did, like, he was just like, okay. But no, you can see that all of the videos have been uploaded. So if you have missed any episode of Sass and Science on YouTube, they're uploaded and ready for your viewing pleasure. There are a couple people up in here. Look at that dungeon. Yes, mistress. Hello, Christy LeDuc. How are you? James O-Town Kinkster is in the room, obviously, because he's actually sitting in the green room. Daniel Markovich, my boo. Julius Vaughn, one of the owners of Fat Marker Clothing, which I am going to be discussing in just a minute. Shishi LaRue. God, that's a kinky bitch right there. If you've ever had the pleasure of meeting Shishi LaRue, honey, I'm just going to say, you will be able to die a very happy person. We also have Michelle Bone Woods, the National Bearded Empress owner. I almost said emeritus, but that's my title. So the National Bearded Empress page, if you would like to go over to Facebook and Instagram as well and look them up, crewhealth.org, obviously, Facebook and Instagram, just search these handles. Our lovely branding partner with National Bearded Empress, Fat Marker, has generously donated today this beautiful, and we were trying to decide when we were going to do this giveaway, right? And I was like, when you see it, you'll understand why I chose for this episode. I was like, this right here speaks so many things. A, it's a banana, and I'm hungry. But B, it says daddy, honey. And everybody knows we love a good daddy, especially since yesterday was Father's Day. Happy Father's/Daddy Day. Yes. So, fatmarkerclothing.com has partnered with National Bearded Empress, and you can get all of your merch for your gay wares, your LGBTQ wares, your face coverings, your phone holders, shirts, cups. There's so many things on their website I can't even label at all. So they have graciously donated to us today the hat that says Daddy with a banana on the back, but you have to be here till the end of the show to win it because we are going to have several questions that we are going to be asking. The other person and the other page that I want you to make sure that you are following is the Orlando Kinksters. That is an amazing page that has all information about kink and about events that are coming up within the kink community or fetish community, however you want to describe it. And James O-Town Kinkster is going to be able to come on in just a minute, and he's going to be able to tell you about a little bit about it. One last thing that I just have to say, if you want to tune in on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you will be able to see me, little old me, right here. I will be with Bears in the City on YouTube and on their Facebook. We will be discussing Pat O'Rourke, who is the owner and event coordinator of Bear Bust, did a huge thing about small business spotlight. So what it is taking all of the small businesses right now and giving them a spotlight to discuss about them. And all of you know that I am a hairdresser by trade. So, small business owner, how are we going through with this whole COVID thing, right? Especially with the second wave coming, girl. Or she's actually here. What is it, the second coming? Yeah, it's the second wave, the second coming. Bitch, the 4 horses are here. They're coming. They're just taking their sweet ass time. You can lead them to water, but you can't make them drink. Well, they're getting thirsty. So let's see here. We have Michelle Bone, which says, "Hi, Daddy John. I missed you." No, she doesn't. Not really. Don Brown, "It was an honor to meet Shishi. I really enjoy her live videos and chatting with her at Gay Days every year. Shishi LaRue is one of the most amazing, humblest people that I've actually ever met." And then Julia's phone says, "Yes, Daddy, yes." So yes, if we could go ahead at the bottom of the screen, do a bunch of hearts because we are about to dive deep into kink. And when I talk about dive, we are going to go deep into it. So I want all of you to do a bunch of hearts at the bottom of the screen right here. I don't care if you're on an Android or an iPhone or whatever you are using, what do they call them? Pay by minute, whatever track phone thing. If you are viewing this, you have the ability to hit this heart right here. What that does is it makes sure our algorithm is up at the top of the screen so that more people can join in. And then next to that is the share button that you can share it to your page and also groups that you're a part of. Now that my mommy, little dominating, little telling you what to do and you're going to listen if you know what's good for you, let's talk about really quick. What is kink? What is kink? You know, I think today there has been a, how do I say? A fakeness about it. There's bitches out there that think that they throw on a harness and they're all of a sudden kink. No, bitch, that's called fashion. That's called you're wanting to be part of the trend. That's called you're wanting to people think that you're somebody else that you're not. So be true to who you are, and if you love your leather, that's fine. That's everything. Because girl, I love a good harness, but I'm also a little bit on the kinky side. Just saying. But terminology can be intimidating for newcomers. Let's start with the basics. BDSM stands for bondage and discipline, dominance and submission, sadism and masochism, the core pillars of kinky fun. We also have a couple of other parts that are important. Safe, sane, and consensual, commonly abbreviated as SSC. But then there's also another terminology that they use on there. And there's actually knowledge behind it about how one kind of says yes about the other, but one says no about the other. And we're going to have James explain that to us. But that is risk-aware consensual kink, also known as RAC. Which, if you were at Gay Days last year at the Mr. Gay Days leather contest, you would actually have heard these terms being used. Remember, this year, Gay Days is held at the end of October, the 27th through November 2nd. You can head on over to gaydays.com. You can get all of your tickets because Mr. Gay Days is going to be there this year. Mrs. Gay Days is going to be there this year. I'm going to be there at the pool parties, which you know, if you're at the pool party and I'm there, it's going to be a hot train wreck mess anyways. I'm going to bring my new prop that I purchased. If you watched my show with Daphne Ferraro last week, I'm going to bring that with me, which is AKA a sling. So I can sit poolside and watch everybody and do all the games and just swing on my sling. There, you know, it's a prop. I have to use it for a tax write-off. So we're going to go ahead and get me to shut the hell up, and we're going to bring on this beautiful, gorgeous man. He's a little short in comparison to me, but he's very gorgeous body. He has this like shape to him that comes down, and it just like everything you could see, like it just like, especially when he's wearing his rubber, honey. I'm just standing there and I'm like, I know that underneath there it's gonna smell like swamp, but I'm willing to get on that airboat on that swamp. Okay? Because you could just see that rubber just conforms to his body. He is a gorgeous, beautiful, handsome man. His name is James O-Town Kinkster.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Fantastic. Really quick, I just want to say hello to a couple people. Gray Hurtado is watching. Chris Weaver is watching. Rob Porco says, is your safe word still marmalade? There is a story actually behind that. That is actually very funny that you said that. So now that we have brought this handsome devil onto the screen, again, bottom of the screen, a bunch of hearts. If you could go ahead and hit those hearts, give us a profile shot. Give us a little profile smile. Give us like if you saw me this at the bar, how would you try to pick me up? Would you just stand there like this, like a god, and just. So. Let's just dive into this. Let's just dive into this. Are you ready?
I'm ready. You can ask me anything. My life's an open book.
Well, I'm sure it's not just your life that's an open book, but we'll talk about that later privately. Well, I mean, unless you want to talk about it now, but no. So what are your titles? Like, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I was born in I am actually a former Mr. Barebust. That's the first title I ever had. And then I founded the Orlando Kinksters. We are 3 years old now. I'm the producer for Gay Days Leather, and I was Mr. Florida Rubber 2019. So I have been around, done the things. I'm also a member of Leather Archives. I'm a sponsor for them. And so, I get around.
Well, I've heard that very much, that you do get around.
Yes.
And all rumors are true, correct?
This is true. Yes. Anything that you've read on Craigslist is a truth. Yes.
What about bathroom stalls? Even though that they've gotten rid of most of them because of this COVID thing, they've closed most of the public restrooms down. They're still there.
I've left parts of me at in the hole in Chicago and in the back of Barcodes and the Ramrod in Fort Lauderdale. The list just goes on and on. So I say.
So we have a comment really quick. This name right here. Okay.
Oh.
He says he's totally handsome. As he's totally handsome with a bunch of hearts. So James, if you ever see this person come across your thread, delete and block. Just letting you know that.
I will know that is a stalker, and I will call the police now.
Yes, good. That's actually my roommate. Well, my roommate for 9 more days.
That's great. Good to know.
My roommate until July 1st.
Oh.
Well, girl, really quick, let me just say, there's a sense of lovingness that when you walk by your roommate's room and you see the stuff that was in there is slowly being condensed down to nothing, this joy comes to your heart.
Yes.
There's no sad or pouty lip. It's like, oh, she's almost gone.
Oh no, I'm on number 3, and it is a good feeling of like something new, something safer, something that will lock the door when they leave my house. It feels good.
Oh, he locks the door. Trust me, he's an old woman. So the second he answered or walks to that door, it's locked and the alarm gets set. Like, it's just she was supposed to be here for 3 months, and that was back. She moved in November 1st of 2018. It was supposed to be here until March of 19.
Oh, so you live in Orlando? Okay, got it.
Actually, I live in Ventura.
Oh, damn!
I'm in the middle of nowhere, and she's still here. And I'm just like, I'm gonna leave. It's time.
Hey, Central Florida, that is like a lifestyle, so that's nothing to be ashamed of. That's par for the course.
That 100% is. So let's talk about really quick. So what about Kink? Whenever I have heard people be like, "Oh my God, Kink is the perversion," and then 50 Shades of Grey came out, and every Karen, Sharon, and Martha and Mary out there were like, "Oh my God, I got a pair of handcuffs. I'm so kinky. Just the Anastasia, girl."
Yeah, you know, so I'll preface and I will repeat myself throughout the show that I'm not an expert and I'm just going to be giving my opinions, but I think that there are there's varying degrees of kink, and then probably a lot of people engage in kinky or fetish play more so than they'd like to admit in public. I mean, even like what were your parents doing when the door was closed? I mean, that type of thing. But I think that's one of the reasons why one of the thoughts behind like the Orlando Kinksters was it's marginalized and it's seen as like on the fringe side of the gay community. And something that's still taboo. And hooray for us that like you can be gay and not be fired from your job. But right. If you're found in a picture in full rubber or full leather, you're getting fired. I mean, it's not a gay issue; it's a fetish. It's a fetish issue. So it is definitely demonized in like many different areas. I still think.
Gotcha. So I mean, but why? But like
why? Good point.
Like
so,
why?
Well, why would you want to hit somebody? That would be disgusting. I think, when I work with people that are new or like enter into a play scene for people that are completely new to kink, I think they're surprised with how relaxing it is. When you just the concept of like impact play, that's an easier one because that's what people see: whipping, flogging, spanking, things like that. Why would you want to do that? Well, it's really relaxing.
I'm gonna talk about that really. I mean, like for a hot minute. Do you know Brady Boniford?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, girl, everybody knows him. So a couple years ago, we were at Neighborhood Takeover in Tampa, and I was doing a show, and then after the show, I got out of face and everything like that, and I came out, and he was flogging people. And I was like, I'm gonna try it, but oh my god, I wanna try it, oh my god. It honestly, when he was like, okay, I'm gonna start easy, and I'm gonna give you a word. He gave me a safe word. He was like, when it gets too much, he's like, just tell me. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It literally was so relaxing, and it the way I've always explained it was it literally brought me to tears, not because it hurt, but because I'm such a control freak that it was the first time I had ever relinquished control.
Yeah.
That I was actually able to like relax and just.
That's so like when
I was
we
like a car wash massage.
We talk about it a lot in leather. Like you have to come out as being gay, and then you have to come out as being like a leatherman. And when my friends ask like, well, why would you be into this? And I don't understand, like, this is so weird. And I was like, like when you're tied down or you're restrained, or you're completely at the mercy of somebody else,
Right.
That's a level of giving yourself to another person that you don't achieve when it's like, well, we held hands, we walked down the street. Like, who the fuck cares? It's like when you like are strapped down to a bondage table and they're using like electro on you, like you are giving complete ownership of your body and your soul to somebody, and that's what's released.
Like 100%. The only thing that I could tell you that I could never get into is I saw somebody one time whipping somebody that had fire on it.
Yeah, that is a thing.
No.
Yeah. I mean, fire play is, especially if you're hairy, it's a no-go. But I mean, there's also electrified floggers, so like they can run like an electric current through the flog.
And that's another one. That's a no.
Yeah, that's like I've been brave enough to know that I know what I like and I know what I don't like, and I'm willing to say I'll try it. And like electro, I've tried electro over and over, and I'm like, you know what? I just don't like it, and I don't have to. It's fine.
Listen, I have been electrocuted before by like a wire being exposed, and I don't like it. So,
yeah,
like I just touched it. It was like, ooh, no. But this is the one thing that I did purchase at TVRU a couple years ago. It was fantastic. It's this like mitt. And it's got these bear claw things on it.
Oh, yeah.
And they're metal. Bitch, yeah. Let me tell you. Because you do the whole softness, and then you just, like, get in there, and you just start scraping. Like, seriously, I have, like, this, like, Wizard of Oz bag of tricks over here. It's like, a bag for me. Hold on. Let's see if you're going home today.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I did not unpack all of my goodies. They're all over in my storage, so in my room.
Did you just move?
No, I just I took the pandemic to reorganize my house, and so all of my like I've got my closet with all my gear, like my rubber things are all bagged and laid out, my leather is all laid out. I have a boot closet, I've got my toy closet, my sling, so like I keep everything very organized. So depending on the scene, I know what I'm taking out.
What's your sign?
My sign?
Yeah.
I'm a Virgo.
Oh, bitch. That explains everything that you just said, because my ex is a Virgo. Oh my God. And he would like have like spots for this and spots for that and spots for this. And I'm like, we're using it every day. Just put it in where I could grab it every day.
Yeah. I mean, like at this point though, it's like I've got like 40 or 50 pieces of rubber, and I have, I think now like 16 pairs of boots, and the toys are, like when I want that one toy, I need to know like, there's the bondage area, there's the ass toy area, there are the cock rings, there's loops. Like, we got to a point where it's like, I need to have a system because the shit was everywhere. And I was like, where's that thing I really like? Like, I need to find it. So
I feel like I need to find it. Let's say hello to a couple people that have came in. We have Sean Wiggins in here. You know him. He is that handsome man. Hello, Sean Wiggins. We have Walter Rivera, which if you have not ever had the pleasure of meeting him, he is a beautiful full-figured Latino man with apparently his penis is this size.
Okay. Ouch.
Yes. We have TJ Brianna Lee up in the house. Hello, Miss TJ Brianna. How are you? Paul McClure. Hello. Don Brown says he is hot. Love the beard. Andy B. Reyes is back in here. And Vince Garofala. Hello, Vince. How are you? And hello, Andy. I hope the salon has been wonderful for you. Let's see right here. Yeah, Don Brown says he is hot. Love that beard. Doug Bazzer is in here. Hello. All right. So let's go on to the next subject. So there we go. So tell me, what does dominant mean? Like, what is that? Like whatever, like a dominant to me, I think a lot of people think it means like you're being a dick or a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're like, you're just being this cocky ass. So like in the fetish kink community, like what does this word actually portray and mean?
So I would say, I mean, there's varying degrees of when you say like dominant. So like people say like a dominant, a sir, a master. Like there's varying degrees, and I think that at the base level you have dominants and you have submissives. So and then from there on. So if I initiate a scene with somebody, like I meet them at the bar or I find them on Recon or whatever, and we're going to engage in a scene, we're going to pick the role, like who's controlling the scene. Is it you, or is it me? And if I'm controlling the scene or the play aspect, then I'm the leader or the dominant figure in that scene. And some people identify only as dominants. Some people are switches, and I mean, some people are straight up subs. And so it just kind of depends.
So you can be both.
Yeah, I mean, like for me as an example, like I started completely as submissive, and then when I got old, I realized that was awkward. No, but I started off as a submissive until I started getting a lot of experience, and I got to the point where I entered into a scene with people who clearly didn't know what they were doing, and like, just give me the fucking rope. And so like, and that works out a different thing for me. Like, sometimes you really want to take control, and I want to punish someone, and I want to do that scene, fine. But sometimes I want to be on my knees, and I want to be leashed and collared by someone. So it works at a different part of your soul either way.
Okay. So John Porco says dominant and dominate are two very different things.
Yeah.
So in her old age, there are some things that I will believe her and say that she's correct. Just on her last days, I'm trying to fulfill her and feel like she has something.
One is a noun and one is a verb. Very good. Right. Grammar, English language, it's fundamental. Yes.
And bitch, I am the worst at there. And I'm also the worst at geography. And so yes. Here's it's just, like I told you, the stream is going to go everywhere. So I was like, James, the stream goes everywhere. So yesterday we were sitting there about, how Storm was supposed, like, people wanted, or they were going to have Beyonce be Storm in the new X-Men or something. And now there's a petition out there to have, oh God, I can't remember her name, but she's
Compose.
Compose.
Yes.
Right. And I was like, oh my God, she would be amazing. Now, I'm a Beyonce fan. Everybody knows that, right? And John turns around, he's like blinking his eyes, he's like, what? I'm like, bitch, just because I love Beyonce does not mean that she's correct for the role. I'm like, Electra would completely 100% be down the role. I'm like, plus Storm's accent, I was like, isn't her accent like from the Caribbean? And he's like, no, she's from Africa. I'm like, no, I thought she was from the Caribbean. He's like, girl, like her accent is from the African continent. Like she's from Egypt. He's like, and where is that? I'm like,
oh God,
I don't know.
Oh God,
I don't know.
It's great. At least you're pretty.
And he was like, Egypt is in Africa. And so I was like, are you sure? So like, of course I bring the map up and I'm looking and I'm like, but see, this is where it's wrong. I'm like, because yes, it's up at the top of Africa. I get it. But it's so close to the Middle East. Like, I thought Egypt was like the tombs and King Tut and all that stuff was in the Middle East. I did not realize that it was part of the African continent.
See, this conversation is why when people ask whether or not you should go into teaching, I say there is always a need for us in this world because of conversations like this. I have so much job security, and I want to thank you for that. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Listen, I can't, no. And there's things that I'm like, oh no, I know that, but nope. TJ Brianna Lee says you could be a dominant as a top or bottom.
Yeah, and that's it. Good call from Brianna. I thought that was like, I was like, that's not real. And then I really started to experience it as like, I mean, so like if I'll basically just own the scene as a bottom and tie them down and be like, you're just going to be my dildo for the night and you're not going to have any power to do anything. And that's a hot scene. I mean, a very hot scene. And I've worked with dominant bottoms that like, I was like, shit. I mean, I really owned the scene and really dictated where everything was going. And it was really hot. I mean, the reality is like, there are rules, but there's really no rules. I mean, there's no manual somewhere that's like in the leather community, you can only do X, Y, Z. It's like, that's just not true. Like as long as no one's getting hurt, as long as we're not breaking consent, it's all good. People will get hurt. Like I will get red on my back from getting a flog, but that's the kind of hurt I want. So
right, like as long as you consented to it, then it's okay. Yeah. And that's where I guess in the world of today, communication in every shape, way, or form whether it's kink, whether it's on the phone, whether it's on social media, whatever, is important communication. So it's all about having communication.
And it's ownership for people who either have experience or are older to mentor younger people. I mean, like we live in Orlando. Well, I do. I live very close to Disney, and my friends outside of the city, I always talk about my Disney subs that message me on Recon. They've discovered what the site is called Recon or Scruff, and they're like, oh, you wear rubber, and they come out with like crazy, like, I want to show up at your house. I want you to rape me. Like, I mean, crazy. Yes. And I'm like, let's backtrack and let's talk about how if you use those words, there will be someone who will agree to do that, and you will get hurt, and you will never do anything. That should be fun. It should be good. Like, you should have a great time. Right. But like, you need to check your words and no, that's not how this is going to happen. We're going to come and meet. We're going to talk like humans first. Correct. And then you're going to engage in a scene. But no, you're not going to come over. I'm not going to rip your clothes off and like, no, like maybe once we know each other.
Right. Once we know each other, then I'll rip your clothes off. And
exactly.
I'll shove my jock in your mouth. And throw your legs in the air, and that type of thing.
And make you wear a diaper and flog you, and then put you on the porch for my neighbors to play with. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. We're gonna move on. Let's talk about submissive. Because okay. All right, so let's talk about submissive, but really quick, let's say hi to a couple people. Nick's ex Conte, hello, Nick, hello. James F. Farios Bond, hello. John Porco says Beyonce equals pretty, that is true. Carlos Moya, Ken Terrell of crewhealth.org, hello, crewhealth.org. Hello, everybody, how are you doing this evening? Thank you for joining us here, and as you can tell, we have this gorgeous, handsome James O-Town Kinkster here on Sass and Science discussing kink. So before we go on to the next, I'm going to need you guys to do what? Do a bunch of hearts at the bottom of the screen, a bunch of hearts. Look, I do it too, so don't think that I'm just trying to tell you what to do. I'm enjoying this. A bunch of hearts, it keeps the algorithm going. The more you heart it, the more you love it. And then you're going to click over to share and share it again. The reason why is because as things happen, the stream goes down. Also, if you do miss this or you came in halfway, you can go to the Sass and Science page on either Facebook or YouTube, and you can watch it from the beginning. So now, James, explain submissive to us, please.
Thank you. My platform for the 2020 election is submissives dominate the world. No. So I think like when you talk about submissives and everyone, I think that there are a lot of people who will just group. It's like submissives, boys, slaves. So like it's all just the same thing. But in my mind, submissive is like at its base. But there's a reason why it's like S&M. There's like it or however you want to like group it. But like there's dominance, there's submissives. Then there's varying degrees. To me, at like its base, the submissive is who is taking it in the scene. Like you have the person who's leading the scene, you have the person who's taking it in the scene. You can switch. I mean, like I said, there's switches too between dominance and submissives, but in the scene, there's a clearly defined role.
So now, can you switch during?
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely switched sometimes without planning it, where it's just like I think like we talked about that. There's a really interesting group in Florida called the Florida Power Exchange, and the idea of power. And if you have that energy in the room or in the scene, you can sense when there's a shift in power. And I mean, you have to know the person well enough or be adept at it. But like, I can tell in the scene where it's like, okay, there's a shift here and I'm going to take control, or I'm giving control over them. And sometimes people negotiate it ahead of time. It's like Tuesday night, we're having a scene, we're doing X, Y, Z, then we're taking a break, and then we are switching roles and you're taking over for the next half. So sometimes it's discussed, sometimes it's not.
Right. So I think, okay, so here's, I have a scenario for you. Okay. So say you're sitting in a sling, right, and you're getting fisted, okay? Yeah. does that automatically make the person that's being fisted, that's the receiving, submissive? No. They would be dominant. They could be either dominant or submissive. But
Correct.
What are like the characteristics of dominant and submissive? Like
at its like base, like simple, like layman's terms, to me, it's like I'm either being told what to do or I'm telling someone what to do. So like if I'm the dominant and I'm in the sling and I'm getting fisted, like I have my sub and they're fisting me, or like I work with like a sub top, and it's like I'm giving them directions. So like now, here, do this, go, no, harder, like, and even if they're fucking me, like I can still flog them or use my crop or anything like that, like faster, harder. What are you, fucking stupid? Like more, dude, like. So, I mean, it just depends on how you want to play that scene out.
Okay, so let's say, how would you describe this? Let's just say, for instance,
Okay.
I'm going to use me as an example when because I'm versatile. But like, let's say pretend I'm bottoming and I have my ass up in the air to my boyfriend and he's behind me and he's penetrating and I'm like, yeah, fuck me, fuck daddy's ass. You like that fat ass? What would that be? And that's alleged that happens.
I still think it. Again, I go back to like the power or the energy in the room. I mean, like I mean, as a bottom, I've used that terminology or like even that phrasing as a submissive and as a dominant. Okay. So I mean, like I've been in the sling and I've been like, fuck me harder, fuck me, I need it, whatever. And then I probably use the same turn of phrase. I probably lower my voice a few octaves so I don't sound like Minnie Mouse. And I'm like, yeah, fuck me harder, more, yeah, you fucking pig, yeah. But if I'm like, oh my God, you're such a pig, oh my God, fuck me harder, oh my God, then I'm gonna submissive.
Oh my God, fuck me.
Take this and put it in me now.
Do it. But I'm on top. Yeah. Okay. So to a couple people, Stephen Darnell Sessoms, hello, gorgeous. If you've never met him, James, he is a beautiful person. And so is Christopher Gonzalez. I believe. Yeah. Yes. What is his title right now? Because of COVID, he got his title extended. He's like Mr.
World Bear Cub, I think.
World Bear Cub. Yes.
Yeah.
He was just like, I'm just going to claim all the titles. World Bear Cub. DJ Brianna Lee says, don't slap me. Polygrip or KY for lube?
Are we talking about a gum job or are we talking about like penetration? Because polygrip, like, yikes.
What is polygrip?
It's for your dentures.
Well, I knew that, but I thought it was something that I was missing of a type of lubricant.
Egypt is in Africa, honey. Keep going. You're fine.
Oh my God. Because my favorite is gun whale for just regular penetration.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, and listen, so my boyfriend, God love him. I absolutely love him. He likes this whole water-based stuff.
Yeah.
But it's better for your body. I'm like, because it's water-based, yes. I'm like, absolutely not. I'm like, give me all the silicone because to go into me, a pinky hurt. So I need you to be like a Jiffy Lube. I need to be like Firestone, Tire Kingdom, and Jiffy Lube all got together and gave us their leftover oil that they're getting rid of. And I need a pack to go on my ass. So Heather Beckwith says, oh my God, I love you all. My brother and his husband introduced me to your page. Thank you, Heather. I'm so happy. I don't know who your brother and his husband are. If I think so, it's Brad and Thomas. If that is your brother, if one of them is your brother, call Thomas because he's sleeping, because he said that he was going to be home all day, so he was apologizing that he might fall asleep during the show, but he's usually here every week. TJ says, for the loose holes.
You know, I'm going to be honest. I'm not a fister, and so I'm a rubberman, and fisting is very popular in the rubber community. Kind of goes hand in hand. Oh my God! But I have discovered that I don't need to sit on a fire hydrant to be complete as a human being, and I'm just not. It's just not my thing. So when it comes to Gapes. I'm not the expert. I'm sorry.
Well, she says she has to run, so basically she wanted to give us information to talk about, and she's like, "Bye, I gotta go."
Loopholes are a topic. Yes, they are.
Exactly. So let's talk about our next subject. I think this word kind of encompasses, exactly. How would you say fetish? What's the difference between fetish and kink?
Oh, I knew you were gonna ask that. I am a total asshole, and people write like dissertations on, well, kink is, but to me it's like the same thing. And I know that people are gonna like comment and be like, that's not true. You can go fuck yourself. This is my opinion. I'll say whatever I want. Like, to me, it's like I have a fetish, and my fetish is for bondage, and my fetish is for wearing rubber, and I have a fetish for these things. Like, I have a fetish for men in uniform. Like, these are fetishes I have. To me, it's the same thing. We had a long discussion about this when we started the Orlando Kinksters, of like, what is the difference between fetish and kink? And we talked about it online. We talked about it in person. We workshopped it. And we kind of were like, Tessa, it's like the same thing. So,
well, I mean, I would say that it's kind of like, so going into hairdresser mode, like, okay. We have, when somebody comes in like, I want to get my hair colored, I'm like, well, what shade do you want to be? And what tone do you want to be? So shade meaning 1 being the darkest, 10 being the lightest, and then your tone is, do you want to be cool? Do you want to be copper? Do you want to be warm? Like, so I would say fetish means that you have, to me, when I hear the word fetish, it means that you have something that you fetishize over, that you almost like long and lust over, but then there's a subcategory that drifts off of that. That is like, I fetishize about bondage.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can make it into, again, I'm going to do my English here. You can make it into a verb, right? Like, I fetishize this, I fetishize this. And you know, like, you have your list of kinks. Like, my kinks include whatever it is. So yeah, that makes sense. That's a good way to do it.
So yeah, so if anybody gives you issues, you have them call me.
Agreed.
What are limits?
So let's talk about like impact play, because again, it's like a popular one. I enjoy impact play. It took me a long time to embrace impact because I was very nervous about it for a long time. And I finally was like, once I finally had a good scene a few years ago when I was in London, I'm like, I love it. So I enjoy impact play. I enjoy flogging. I enjoy paddling. My limit is single, like whipping. I've experienced it. I don't like it. Like, it's not like, it takes me out of the headspace. You can flog me like yes.
That is
like,
a no, but this is a yes.
Yes. So, like, I mean, like, the longest scene I had was 2.5 hours last year in Atlanta, and it was a variety of hands and floggers and crops and blah 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 blah. And I took it, and for 2.5 hours, and the next day I felt like I'd been at a spa. But the second I hear the crack of a single tail, I'm completely out of the headspace, and it makes me nervous. It makes me scared. I don't like the mental image of whipping. It's so like that is, so I say that to the dominant, this is a limit. I think this is, again, goes back to when you're working with new guys, they're like, well, I just want you to, flog. Okay, well, cool. Can I draw blood? Well, what do you mean draw blood? I'm like, well, I mean, did you not think that could happen? I'm like, so if you have a limit, like, I don't have any limits. Yes, you do. Yes. What, can I set you on fire? Can I cut you up? Like, you have limits. So, yeah.
Right. So, okay. So, to everybody out there that's watching, if somebody wants to start getting into kink or fetish, however you want to think of it, where would you say like the best thing for them to start? Like if you were to put like a beginner's guide, like for $19.99, 4 easy installments of $19.99.
That's right.
Yeah,
you first of all have to read 50 Shades of Grey. It's now immortal. No. I honestly, I think that you can. I mean, it's going to sound crazy, but YouTube is actually a really good friend. If there are things specifically that you want to research, and even I do this, like let's say like bondage, there are crazy amounts of tutorials and everything online. That there's like beginner bondage ties and things like that, or beginning impact play. Like there's like all these different videos that I've read from people. I also recommend if people here haven't heard of it, Claw. That's Cleveland Leather Awareness Weekend. It might be in person, it might be digital, but Claw is a completely educational event, and it's national and it's open to men and women or however you identify, and it's literally just 3 days of workshops. And so like like I went to one on fire play. I was like, I don't understand what fire play is. Like you're literally setting people on fire, and I went and steps and things like that. So I think that's a good resource too.
So the claws. So Thomas Ethan Jr. has joined the room. He woke up. His sister must have gone ahead and called him or texted him and woke him up. Thank you, Thomas, for joining us. Okay, so in your experience of being in, what would you say, the fetish community, the kink community?
Sure. Yeah.
All things. Okay, all the things. Like, if you were to say your number one go-to, like, if you had to pick one, what would be your one that you're like, this is what I want to have done the rest of my eternity life?
Bondage.
Now, what does that mean?
To me, bondage is any type of restrictive holding. It can be ropes, it can be chains, it can be a sleep sack, it can be a bondage table, it could be a box, cages. I mean, anything where I'm being used. Yeah, like a cage.
Oh, bitch! All of a sudden, like a UPS FedEx box went to my head. I was like, wait, a box? Okay, a cage. Gotcha.
or like a bondage box. I mean, they've been designed where it's almost like looks kind of like a coffin with just a face hole. Yep. You asked me to be on the show. You get what you get.
No, I'm living because I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
It looks like a coffin.
Yeah, those are intense. I mean, or like there's a dominant that I work with in Atlanta that has built with his partner like a fully padded cell in his basement. I mean, it's padded and it's like full wraparound, whatever. And I mean, to me, like being locked in there for a few days, it's a form of bondage. Like I'm being denied anything else, whatever. I mean, I enjoy a good restrictive bondage, like a sleep sack, or a vac rack or a vac cube. But any form of being tied down.
You are throwing some. Okay, I need to. A vacuum? What?
Okay, so you, dear listeners, you can go look this up on YouTube and XTube. So a vac rack is rubber, and so you can imagine it's like two pieces of rubber with piping all the way around. So you lay in this, like between these two pieces of rubber, and then they insert like a vacuum tube, like your old school vacuum cleaner with the long handle. Yeah, and they suck it out, and you're completely restricted in this. And now they also have a cube where like the rubber is in all four sides. You get into the cube, and your face is sticking out. They suck out all the air, so you just kind of hung there like Spider-Man in a cube, and so it's really fun. Yeah.
It's like a food saver.
It's a little disconcerting at first. Like one of my mentors, like he was like, don't freak out, give it 5 seconds. Because when they first start sucking the air out, it's like, oh God, oh God, oh God. Because it's a little freak out. It sounds like your ears are going to pop, whatever. But it's really fun.
But you can still breathe, obviously.
Yes. Yeah. Like there's, it depends. Like certain ones are different, but like mine had a mouth hole. I think like some of them have like just like a tube that comes out so you can breathe through the tube.
Whoa. Hold up, honey. Wait. This just completely 100% together. So it's like you are like, you're in a Ziploc bag with a straw through there, like you're in the river hiding out from like Jason Voorhees or something, trying to get some air. And they pull all the air out. All you can breathe through is that little That little straw?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no. I'll push the button to turn the vacuum on for you. But...
It's definitely not one of those things that you can like walk away from, like, hey, I'm going to leave you in this vac thing and go to the gym. Right. But I'll send you pictures. You'll see.
Dude, that is interesting.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So are you naked or are you clothed or either? What, like?
So I did it. I tried it for the first time. I was naked, and so like my mentor put me in there, and it's rubber, so we lubed it up and everything. So like, I mean, it's like you're restricted, but you can kind of move, and you're getting sweaty, and it's lubed up, and they're putting toys on your cock and vibrators, and it's like, oh my god, I'm trapped for good. The Cube, I was at a play party in Montreal, and my friend went into it in full rubber, and I was like, you're gonna die. Like, you're in full rubber, you're gonna go into this rubber tube. It's hot. I mean, it's really restrictive, and it's like your heat builds up. And he's like, no, I really want to try it. Well, we had ice cubes, and so like while he was in the cube, we were able to like put it like on the top part of his back to cool him down and blah blah. But after about 10 minutes, he's like, I've got to get out of this. And I was like, yeah, because you're gonna pass out because you're so dehydrated. So it's definitely, the heat factor is an issue.
Oh my god. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so now tell me, because a couple times that I've seen you out and about, you've been in your rubber.
My rubber, yes.
Your rubber. So what is it about rubber? Like,
so there's I'm glad we're talking about this with so many big people. I was a bear title holder first, but my love is leather, and that's one of the reasons I won Bear Bust was that I was in some leather on that stage, and the first few times I saw people in rubber, in my mind, as a lot of fat people do, I was like, well, that person's skinny. I can't wear that. Like, I was like, it's so hot. They look so hot in that rubber. It looks so sexy, but I can't do that because I've got all these curves and it's going to look wrong, and you can't hide. Like, rubber does not hot. Like, it's there. They're going to see it. And so for a long time, I was like, I can't do that. I can only wear leather. Rubber is not for me. And so Recon.com had a store. They were going out of sale, and they had this rubber tank top. And I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know you had to lube it up. So, I mean, rubber, painful, fucking awful. So I wore it to the Parliament House, actually. Okay. Rubber tank top with jeans, everything. And I was like, oh, God, like, but I was obsessed with it. I thought it was so sexy, but I was like, what are people going to say? And they're going to call me fat, and they're going to make horrible comments. Well, the opposite. Like, I went to the Parliament. People were like, oh my God, what is that? And it's so shiny, and where did you get it? And you look so sexy in that. And so I was like, really, wow, it's hot. So again, to me, it plays into my love of bondage and restrictive anything. Rubber is restrictive, right? It's sucking it all in.
Right.
And I will say that it will fit you like better than any corset you've ever had in your life. Like, my best body is in my rubber. So I like that, and I also enjoy the fact that rubber, like the leather side of things is older, and so there's and not that it's set in stone, but there's protocol, and there's leather certs, blah blah. Rubber is pushing the envelope. It's always going forward. There's all these avant-garde looks to it. You can be whatever you want to be. You can be the uniform, or like, I love Game of Thrones. I have a Game of Thrones tabard in rubber. I've got a Cuban outfit in rubber. I've got like the Jejevera with the the pants, and I've got my hat. Like, I like to play all the different angles with rubber. Or I've got a fully encased mask with just eyes, and I'm a gimp for the night, and I can't talk, and I'm a fucking slave. Like, so rubber just has so many facets to it, and that's why I like it.
How hot does it get?
Oh yeah, I lose a dress size in a night. And I mean, if I feel like, why are you wearing rubber to the bar? And I'm like, because I didn't go to the gym today. And I wear rubber and I go on the dance floor for 2 hours. I'm literally just a puddle. And it's great.
So like, when you take it off, is it like literally like just like the Titanic doors open and it's like a flood of just sweat?
So it depends on, some people have like fully encased on their feet. So the rubber will cover your foot. So like literally all night long, the sweat is just pooling in your whatever. I don't like to do that. I always have my socks. So the sweat is literally just running into my boots all night. But there are points where I will, like, throughout the night, just like let my shirt open, and it's just, I mean, just, like, tons of water comes out. And then at night when I take it off, I'm just all wet and sweaty.
Okay, so can you promise me this when we're at Katie's this year? Like when you have to go pull your shirt out to let it out, I am there. That I am there. I want to see this. Like I want to video this. I'd be like, I just want to see it.
You're so cute because you think that I will be in rubber at gay days because when I get up at like 7 o'clock in the morning to run around and set all that shit up, the last thing I'm like this. I represent
the leather contest you were.
I did. For the contest, I will go full out, but generally day to day, I'm like, Mr. Cotton 2020, thank you, because like I need to like go. I'm like a vest and jeans. That's all I can handle.
Right.
So well.
No, but I was gonna say at the contest, I almost said the pageant, but I was like, oh no, contest. The pageant is me.
I will be there at the pageant though. I mean, we always are there to represent, and so I think that the first year I'd asked this when Steve Eriks was still there. I was like, do you want me in a suit or do it? And he's like, no, bitch, I want you in full gear. He's like, you better be in full gear all the time, every time.
Absolutely. We want the you. We want the you. We want the you.
I've got the leather and the rubber.
Exactly. Oh, girl, I don't know how you're doing that because this thing is killing me underneath here. Oh, she is. And that's just on my face. Yep. So, all right. So now we're going to do a giveaway.
Oh.
We are going to, from fatmarkerclothing.com, they have graciously donated a giveaway of the daddy hat with the banana, which completely follows what we are doing. Daddy, you want to know what, James? I'm going to leave this up to you. I'm going to put you on the spot. Stuff that we have covered, I want you to ask the question. Just ask the question of whatever we've covered. And the first person that answers it correctly in the comments, I'm looking on the feed right now, will win this, and this will be shipped to you from fatmarkerclothing.com. So everything that we've discussed, you just pull out a question, and if they've been in here the whole time and they've been watching, then they will know the answer.
Okay, well, sure.
The question's fine.
I was like, I will ask. Does anyone remember what? I have 2 titles. Does anyone remember what 2 fetish titles I have?
Oh. Hello, Myers. Oh. And does anybody remember what James O-Town Kinkster's 2 fetish titles are? Which means that you better have been in here in the beginning because we said this in the beginning. So, your 2 titles, we're going to give it a good 30 seconds because it's a 30-second delay.
I also can't think of another question.
Joe Monin says leather and rubber.
No.
Nope.
No.
Mr. Leather and Mr. Rubber.
I don't have a leather title, but thank you for playing.
Thank you for playing. Thank you for playing, Joe. You are wrong.
I think it's too hard. I think we need like another. I just like on the spot. I'm like, did we really talk about anything super in Dublin?
Okay, all right. So let's cancel that one out. Okay, let's cancel that one out. We're gonna go easy. Easy. I put you on the spot. Okay.
You forgot. I'm a former Mr. Bear Bust. I have a bear title, and then I was a Mr. Rubber. No leather.
No leather. So if anybody, the first person in here that can tell me what BDSM stands for. BDSM. And James is going to be the one that says that it's correct because he understands and I understand what it is too.
I thought about asking that, but I'm like, did we really talk about each of those letters specifically? Did we do it enough? I don't know.
I did it earlier.
I was like, did we? I can't remember. I broke
it down earlier.
Y'all could just also Google it. So, I mean, like, it's not rocket science.
You can Google it really quick. So what does BDSM stand for? BDSM.
Bloomingdale's, Dillard's, Sears, and Macy's.
3 out of the 4 are out of business.
That's right. Exactly. Like, because she's old.
Right. All right. So we have bondage, domination, Sado, and masochist.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes. All right, Mr. Joe Monin, you won the hat that is sponsored by our lovely, amazing, phenomenal, fantastic people over at fatmarkerclothing.com. You won this amazing, beautiful banana hat that says Daddy across it. Congratulations, Joe. Congratulations, Joe. You were the first person to type that in here. It came through both on the live here and also in the comments on StreamYard.
Yeah.
So you will be receiving that hat. Joe, if you can go ahead and message me, I send me a DM of your address and your, well, obviously I know your name, but the name and address, and I will forward that over to Fat Marker, and they will get that shipped out to you, and you should have it probably within a week or so. But congratulations to Joe Monin. Let's give him a bunch of hearts for winning the hat. That was, and of course, look who comes in at the last moment. My boyfriend putting a banana and a squirt.
Cute. Love it.
I swear to God. So, James, I would like to thank you so much for being with us today on Sass and Science discussing Kink.
Yes.
I cannot wait to see you out and about. I hope you are staying safe and healthy, washing your hands, wearing your mask, which I'm sure, let me tell you, the BDSM community, they were on that shit before all of this. So they were like, bitch, I got a mask, you got a mask, I got a mask. I mean, we got a mask, we got a mask.
Yeah. How many rubber masks do you want me to wear? I mean,
exactly.
I've got
You're like, I'm good for a year.
Well,
each day.
I want to say thank you so much for having me on the show. And if any of you are listening and in the Orlando area, the Orlando Kinksters is not a club, but we are a Facebook presence and kind of like a hub of kink activities. So if you are like, just want to know where a local kink event is, we also run some workshops. We also do some charity work. We do March at the Pride Parade. We have like social nights, things like that. It is not a hookup site. So if you go on and you're like, who wants to fist, bitch, take that to Scruff. That's not what it's about. Like, it's about socials and education and charity. Like, go fist whoever, go to Hanks. I don't care. So just FYI.
Thank you for that. I'm serious. No, I'm serious. Thank you for that. Because, listen, and I'm not a prude by any sort of the means. I'm not a prude. I'm not, some hoity-toity because I'm in a monogamous relationship bitch that's like, oh, but I'm like, there are things that need to be educational, and not everything that's educational needs to be about you getting slammed.
Correct. Yeah.
Let's educate you correctly on how to get slammed correctly.
Yeah. Like, I was like, if you want to DM someone and you see someone in the group and you're like, oh, sweet, go do your thing. But that's like, we don't do memes. We don't do like, by the way, go get your HIV testing. This is a kink group. Post like kink things, post your kink questions. You want to trade gear. Hey, we're all going to Florida Leather, Sir Boy. Who's going to Mid-Atlantic Leather Weekend? Like, that's why we're there. We're just like a general kink station for Central Florida. That's why we started it. So join if you'd like.
I love that. So I know that John Porco is still watching. John Porco, if you wind up going into the Orlando Kinksters, be a refined human being and not the whore that you are. Not that I'm whore shaming you whatsoever, but you can tell that they are about education and not about hooking up. So I'm just letting him know because, again, 9 days until he's out of my house, and then I can't really harass him. I keep on reminding him. So thank you so much, James, for being on. And I would like to say thank you to Rob and Christine for doing the rainbow with the Orlando in the heart. We love you, too. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and kick you out of here so I can finish up. You have a great and amazing evening. And remember, I want to see that shirt with all the water dripping at it at Gators. All right?
Got it.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. So how was that? Did you not just love him? First off, isn't he adorable to look at? He is so cute. Literally, he is a little short in stature. Or maybe it's because I'm in heels when I've stood next to him. I'm not sure. But he is just, and he's such a sweetheart. He's such a nice person. And again, if you are looking into getting into kink and fetish, the Orlando Kinksters is a wonderful place that you can go to, and you can check them out for education, not hooking up. So with that being said, we are going to continue with Sass and Science next Monday. Look, I got all these little red specks all over my head. I guess the lighting's changing with the green screen. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to continuing Sass and Science every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Facebook page of Sass and Science and also on YouTube. So again, the pages are Sass and Science on YouTube and Facebook. That is where you're wanting to go for your Monday edition at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for all of your sassiness behind scientific things and questions that we have out there. So stay tuned for our commercial of what is coming up next week. I would like to thank you to our sponsors, Crew Health and National Grid and Empress, as well as Fat Marker for this week's episode. Thank you so much for standing behind what we are doing. Until then, remember everybody, wear your mask, because if you're in Orlando, Tampa, all of those areas, I think it's mandated now for inside businesses, you have to have a mask. But thank you so much, Alan Marshall. Thank you so much for saying that you love the show. Thank you. Continue watching us every week. We kind of talk about things that don't normally get talked about, let's just say. But no, make sure you wear your mask. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, wear your mask, wear your mask. It's showing a sign of respect for each other, because it's when you put a mask on, it's not protecting you, it's actually protecting the other person. And you don't know if you are a carrier or not. And the fact of just having respect out of another human being's life is just showing a little bit of respect that you respect people's lives, So just wear your mask, wash your hands, use your hand sanitizers, use all of those good things. Remember to keep social distancing, especially with everything starting to open up more. Make sure that you stay within your surroundings, and if you're sick, keep your ass at home. So until next week, this is Beyonce Bear, the Sass of Sass and Science this week. Be blessed, be amazing, stay stunning. Bye.